Hello, everyone. Welcome to DADennial. I'm your host, Mike Trank, licensed clinical mental health counselor and owner and creator of DADennial. This week's episode of the Mailbag, and the first question actually comes from yesterday's AI video I put up, and the article is on Substack called Why Modern Dads Feel Trapped, Invisible, and Misunderstood. And the question is, what do you wish society understood about modern fatherhood? Modern fatherhood, it isn't about babysitting. It's not a side role or an occasional helper job. It's a full-time, emotionally complex, some say like identity shifting experience, which I've felt. Today's dads are breaking generational cycles, changing that learned behavior. They're showing up emotionally, redefining what strength looks like, but society still hasn't caught up. We're expected to provide without breaking, to be present without an acknowledgement, and to parent without a playbook. That's how it definitely feels for me, at least for most days. It's the invisible weight of being, are you man enough while raising emotionally healthy kids? It's real and it's heavy. We don't want a trophy. I don't want anything for just showing up. We just want space to be seen or tools to do better. And ultimately a culture that respects and treats us as equal parents, not just backup plans or we're just taking a day off to help out the family. Second question comes from Mark. How do you handle it when your parenting style clashes with your partner? That one definitely rang true. So I thought of clashing parenting styles. It's not a sign of failure. Don't think of it like that first and foremost. They're a signal that two people raised in different worlds. We're not trying to raise kids together. It's very challenging. It's very difficult in this day and age. It's not about who's right. It's not about finding a rhythm or being rigid of like, this is how we do it. And that's, no, just black and white, no color in between. I see it as modern fatherhood. It just means stepping into conversations that, not used to and weren't taught to have. When my partner and I don't see eye to eye, it forces us to kind of stop and do that 10,000 foot kind of zoom out view. Sometimes even ask, what's the best for our kids? Sometimes not thinking about my ego and, that what I think is always right. I'm just trying to listen and understand. It's definitely very hard. It's definitely very humbling. Unfortunately, it's very necessary, though, too. I feel like we grew up watching the dad just sit in silence, right? Or just create more conflict. Or worse, just walk away. But today's dads, we have to engage. We listen. We collaborate. We don't try to dominate the conversation. The next question actually comes from a female listener, Joanne. She says, what is the hardest lesson your kid has taught you? I really had to think about that one because there's definitely many lessons. And when you have two of them, it's double the lessons. So the hardest lesson, I think, that I taught my kid to express his feelings. Now, bear with me here. So he's used that voice to tell me if I had said something that bothered him or hurt him, whether it was just even sarcasm sometimes is something that I know I can come across as just trying to say something funny I thought was harmless or a tone I didn't realize had cut too deep. He would tell me and it would stop me just cold. It's like, oh, it's easy to say we want to emotionally aware kids, but it's even harder when they hold a mirror to us, kind of own our behavior. But that's what being a modern dad is about, I think. Not just teaching emotional intelligence, but being willing to grow when it's reflected back at you. So definitely like that moment hurt when I would say something just silly or just call him a different name. Like, that, I don't like that, Dad. That bothers me. It also kind of healed me too. Kind of made me realize I'm working past that learned behavior. Because the truth is, I'd rather raise a kid who feels safe enough to speak than one who stays silent or in fear. The last one, what does self-care look like when your family depends on you 24/7? So I think this one came because I have some videos out about self-care. I talk about awareness in some videos. There's things about just counting 1 to 5. And I kind of say like, right, trying to find your time, right? Trying to find a few minutes and just bluntly asking me, what does it look like? So self-care for dads, it's not spa days. We can't have solo vacations. It's almost a survival strategy is what I call it. When you're the emotional anchor, the lunch packer in the morning, the meltdown handler, the late night warrior, That's me. Self-care has to look a lot different. It's not being selfish. It's definitely a level of being structured. Sometimes self-care is setting a boundary. Right? I know when I feel burnt out, when I'm at a 4 or 5, when I do the 1 to 5, I need to take 15 minutes to walk, meditate. Sometimes it's asking your partner for those 15 minutes just of silence, not even apologizing for it, just knowing that this is what you need and expressing it. Sometimes it's turning off the noise, remembering you're not just a dad, you're still a person. Just think of the analogy or metaphor of we can't pour from an empty cup, but as dads, we're often praised for running on empty. And that praise, it's a trap. Modern fatherhood means choosing to recharge even in small ways, so we don't burn out and disappear emotionally from the very people that we're trying to show up for. And I think even for myself, I just trying to find those 5 minutes where I know yesterday I just needed to meditate. Thank everyone for those questions. So comment below, even if it's an example was locking the bathroom door and listening to a mailbag episode of DADennial. That's a form of self-care, so please do that. Continue to leave those comments, questions. Keep liking and subscribing. And let's be heard. Let's have a good one. Thank you.